We're in Toronto today, and you can see that most people have their recycling out. They're using large carts to collect all of their recyclables. If you're from another municipality, you might recognize this, the blue box. You can see there's many different items in there, the kinds that you and I produce, whether it's this plastic water bottle or paper bag or this pop can. Do you ever wonder what happens with these recyclables once they enter into your blue box? Well, let's find out. So we're at a typical recycling facility today where all your blue box items can go to be recycled. Today we happen to be at the City of Toronto's facilities. And today we're going to have the rare opportunity to have an inside look and see what happens to your recyclables. So I've got with me today Jeff Rathbone, General Manager of Solid Waste for the City of Toronto. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm great, thanks. How are you today, Paul?
Excellent, excellent. So we're going to spend a few minutes talking about what happens here at a recycling facility. So tell me, you put a lot of time and energy into recycling, into sorting all the things that come in here. What's the purpose behind all of that?
Well, I know a lot of people think of recycling, one of its major advantages is that it diverts material from landfill. And that's obviously a very important part of why we recycle. But I think what maybe most people don't understand is that recycling is now a major supplier of raw material to industry and displaces many of the virgin products which were traditionally used. So when we recycle, we don't have to cut down trees to make paper, we don't have to mine bauxite thousands of miles away to make aluminum, nor do we have to extract oil to make many of the plastic products. So these secondary raw materials end up displacing the virgin raw materials which were traditionally used, resulting in tremendous savings, both energy and cost for industry.
So it sounds like what we're really doing is we're recovering the resources that are out there that otherwise would have to be chopped down if they were a tree and mined if they were metal. So what are the markets like for recycling these days?
Well, one of the beauties of recycling is that over the last 20 years we've created a very sustainable market for recyclables. Recyclables on average have a value of about $100 a ton in the blue box, and by comparison it costs us about $70 a ton to go to landfill. So we have a spread of $170 a ton value in the recycling. Hence our desire to get every last kilogram from the household and to also have contaminants go directly to landfill.
So in terms of what comes in here, I guess one of the key things is making sure that people do things in a proper way. So what kind of contaminants do you see coming in the blue box stream? Anything funny that you can think of?
Let's see, although of course all contamination is not funny to us, but generally speaking, much of the contamination we see is really a result of over-enthusiasm of residents attempting to give us items that we all want to recycle, but unfortunately technology is just not at the point yet where we can recycle.
So you want a good example of contaminant? How about this nice basketball here?
So right now, for example, or earlier in the spring with a lot of planting at homes, we saw many trays for plants and plant containers. Unfortunately, at this point, we cannot recycle those. Interestingly, many of the plastics that we collect end up going into the production of those, so at least they are high in recycled content. But at this point, we can't actually recycle those.
So what can people do to reduce the amount of contaminants that go into the blue box?
Well, one thing that we do, of course, is have all of the information on our city websites in terms of what is acceptable and what is not. We also have periodic advertising, but really the heart of what we tell residents is in our annual calendar, which gives them the dates of collection and all kinds of other information about our programs. And probably most importantly inside, there's an actual do-don't list for what can and cannot go in the blue box system.
So thanks a lot, Jeff, for spending a bit of time with us today. Hopefully we've been able to learn something more about recycling, about the types of things that we are supposed to put in our blue box and what actually happens to the blue box materials once they come here. So now we know, we've had the opportunity to learn about what happens with our different recyclables when we recycle them. So next time we have this nice can of diced tomatoes or whatever it might be that we're cooking, when we're finished with it, we'll know what to do. We're going to recycle it. Very simple.